And this is the No Face Movement, and it's January 31st, 2013. And today our subject is how people use situation for their gain, from governments of the world to individuals. Alright, folks, and this is a very sad story. My compassion and my prayers go out to the family of the slain girl in Chicago. Teen who performed at Obama's inaugural event shot dead in Chicago. And that's just horrible. This is where our system's at. Alright? People get shot dead every single day. My prayers are out to those people. But they use this one individual to push a plan. They use situations to gain on their behalf. Let's watch the videos, and my prayers out to the family. Alright?
Friends are describing 15-year-old Idea Pendleton, the latest innocent victim of gun violence in the city of Chicago. Idea had just returned from the inauguration in Washington, where she performed with her high school majorette team. Jada Naked is the girl next to Idea in this team photo.
It was a good trip. Like I said, she was real happy on the trip. She was a nice person. She smiled all the time. She never frowned. She never mad. She never sad.
On Tuesday afternoon, Idea had just finished a final exam and was with a group of friends avoiding the rain under this park shelter. Witnesses say a gunman came out from behind this fence and started shooting. The park where she was killed is 1 mile from President Obama's home in Chicago.
The President, First Lady's thoughts and prayers are with the family of Idea Pendleton. All of our thoughts and prayers are with her family. As the President has said, we will never be able to eradicate every act of evil in this country, but if we can save even one child's life, we have an obligation to try when it comes to this.
It's sick how they use this girl. Listen.
Senator also brought up Idea's murder during a gun hearing on Capitol Hill.
A gun hearing.
About her trip to Washington.
It's a highlight of her young 15-year-old life. Yesterday in a rainstorm after school, she raced to a shelter. A gunman came in and shot her dead. Just a matter of days after the happiest day of her life, she's gone.
It's been a deadly start to 2013 in Chicago. Idea is the 42nd murder victim already this year. 506 people were killed here in 2012. She is what is best in our city. A child going to school takes a final exam, we've just been through the inaugural, who have a responsibility to see a stop to this, and all of us are responsible. At King College Prep High School, students spent the day with their parents and grief counselors talking about Idea and her wonderful smile.
It's too much. Every other day you're hearing shootings and killings, and now what's happening is more parents are burying their children, and it needs to stop.
And well, sadly, like is the case in many of these shootings, police have not made an arrest. They're hoping a witness will come forward with some information so they can solve Idea's murder.
You see how they use that situation? Looks like they were trying to better, but they pinpoint one person. This happens every single day. My blessings out to the family. But they use situations to push their agenda. Alright? I don't think gun violence is for America. I don't think people should go out and kill each other. Alright? But this ain't the time for people not to have their guns. Alright? I know a lot of stuff is happening, but this is all their part. This is how they brainwash people. This is how they tell people, you know, we're going to come take your guns. Alright? When there's violence out in the street, alright, and when they're cutting police, when they're cutting firemen out there, and they're telling you to give up your gun, who's going to protect your family from those individuals out there? They shoot up schools. They shoot up when your house is not locked down or bused in. How are you going to protect yourself? Is the police going to show up? Not here in Detroit, not there in Buffalo, not there in Cleveland, not there in Chicago, not there in New Orleans, not down there in Los Angeles and Compton. Who's going to protect each other? And they want to get your guns away. Alright? Why? They want a police state. Let's get into it. Now they're just abusing people's rights. New York Police Department looking to deploy naked body scanners on street corners as part of gun control rollout.
NYPD looking to deploy naked body scanners on street corners as part of gun control rollout. It's not enough that the state of New York just doubled down on its trashing of the Second Amendment with the passage of new gun control laws. Now the city of New York, with its gun-grabbing mayor, is set to deploy revealing new X-ray scanners that will violate residents' Fourth Amendment right to privacy to ensure they're not taking advantage of their Second Amendment right to keep and bear arms. According to local media reports, New York City Police Commissioner Ray Kelly said his force is currently testing the new technology, which is designed to hone in on guns without using the department's well-established stop and frisk procedure. Now, not only will suspected criminals be targeted, but so will the vast majority of law-abiding New Yorkers who, once again, are going to be presumed guilty until proven innocent. The New York Daily News said the department recently took delivery of a machine that reads terahertz, the natural energy emitted by people and inanimate objects, which allows police to view concealed weapons from a distance. If something is obstructing the flow of that radiation, for example a weapon, the device will highlight that object, Kelly told reporters. Fear of false positives. Civil libertarians have plenty to be upset about. So do ordinary New Yorkers. A video image that was shown at a police foundation breakfast in early January showed a police officer who was dressed in a New York Jets NFL jersey and blue jeans with the shape of a gun outlined clearly beneath his clothing when he was observed through the device. Kelly says street testing of the device is underway. He said the device is small enough to be put in a police cruiser or set up on a street corner where gunplay has occurred in the past, the Daily News said. Plans to use the revealing device were in play before the state's latest round of radical new gun control legislation was passed, apparently. The police chief said his department has been working with London Metropolitan Police officials and a contractor to develop a tool that meets our requirements. Apparently, a constitutional lawyer isn't on the advisory team. We took delivery of it last week, Kelly said, January 25th, at the gathering at the Waldorf Astoria. One of our requirements was that the technology must be portable. He added, we will still have a number of trials to run before we can determine how best to deploy this technology. We're also talking to our legal staff about this, but we're very pleased with the progress we've made over the past year. So far, the city and the department has blown off concerns about potential privacy violations made by the New York Civil Liberties Union, which has expressed diffidence over the virtual pat-downs that will no doubt occur. Others, including some security experts, say the device will unquestionably lead to false positives and, in turn, stop and frisks that are not justified. All of this comes on top of new gun control measures that were passed and signed into law so quickly by the state legislature and Governor Andrew Cuomo that the process was a violation of the state constitution's 3-day waiting period before the laws are voted on. When you rush a bill through, you can't have committee hearings in which you learn from experts. You don't allow for proper debate. You don't allow for possible amendments that would refine and strengthen a bill, Karen Layla wrote in the op-ed for the Daily News. The columnist also decried other absurdities in the law, like the fact that it was passed so quickly power-mad supporters of the measure forgot to exempt police officers from the requirement that gun magazines be limited to 7 bullets, and that criminals aren't going to pay much attention to that requirement.
You can read the rest of the article at the bottom. And it's crazy. You see how they push legislation excuse me, before people could read it, before people could vote on it. Alright? And all of a sudden, all these legislations, you'd be hearing about legislation all of a sudden get passed at the final minute, and it's like 50,000 pages. You know someone didn't write that all in 1 and 2 days, not even in a week, not even a month. Alright? and just been sitting back and pass at a certain point in time as we enter this new world order, the Federal Republic. And you can see how the government and worldwide powers use normal accidents to their advantage. Alright folks, that's our subject tonight. Please rate, subscribe, and comment. Follow me on Twitter, Facebook, on Blogspot, excuse me, on Critterbox, and on Godlike Production. Alright, please follow Mystique. She has her giveaway 2013. And follow her on her channel. She got some deep, interesting news herself. This is the No Face movement. Moving the movement till next time for justice. This is the movement facing off. Peace.